Hello, GDP students. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draw basic shapes with dimensions, extrude them, and then make something called an assembly drawing, which has all of the views of the shape that we're drawing on the same page with their dimensions. So let's get started. We're going to just start with a basic cube. This 3 by 2, the 3 is the width, and then the 2 is the height. Before we get started, we always want to make sure that we're in inches. So we're going to go to document settings, and here are our units. If it says millimeters or anything else, you can click here and then change the unit type and then just hit OK or cancel. So we are in inches. We're going to create a sketch and I'm going to choose the front face. For this cube, I can just simply grab my rectangle tool, go to the origin, and I'm going to drag that out. And you'll see that the bottom field, numerical field, is highlighted in blue. That means we can enter some data. I know that the length or width of this is going to be 3, so I'm just going to type that in. To switch to the other number field, I'm going to hit my tab key, hit 2, and then I'm going to just click to set that. So now we have our drawing with dimensions. We can hit OK to get out of that. I'm going to finish the sketch up here, which is going to put my shape in isometric view. And I'm going to go to my extrude. I'm just going to type in, when it's blue, the blue numerical field here is ready to just have the dimensions added, or you could go to the distance and the extrude field. I'm going to put 1.75, set that. Now, to make my assembly drawing, well, before I do that, let's take a look at what we're going to see. So in the named views here in the browser, we have the top, right, front, and home. Home would be isometric. So when we hit these views, this is what the top of our cube, this is what the front of our cube, this is what the right side of our cube, and this is what the isometric is. So we're going to see all these views at the same time. So we are going to go to design, drawing from design. We're going to title this basic shape 1. Make sure you pay attention to where this is saved. I'm going to hit save. Now, this drawing sheet is going to come up. It should say manual, full assembly, create new, from scratch, ASME, inches, uh, paper size B, 17 by 11, and then orientated landscape like this. I'm going to hit OK. And our drawing sheet is going to load up. All right, so we have this. We're going to set our first view. All right, we're just going to set that right there. Here is where we can change the different qualities of the drawing. So I'm going to change the style from visible and hidden edges to shaded. Here in scale, we could change the size. So I may want it larger. A 1:1 would make it larger. This is at 1:2 now. A 1:4 would make it smaller, but a 1:1 would make it larger. A 2:1 would also make it much larger, but I think this is a good size. I'm going to hit OK. All right. Now, this here under sheet settings, okay, this is called our title block, and it has information about the job and who did it and et cetera, et cetera. We can turn this off by just clicking that eye. I'm now going to go to up here where there's these different styles. Here I'm going to go to projected view and I'm going to click on that. I'm going to then click on my shape. I'm going to go up and it's going to give me a top view, isometric view, and side. Okay. So we have our front, top, isometric, and side. So there are different dimensions associated with each view. So in this, we have the height and we have the width, okay, or length. Height, length. Here, since we're looking at the top of it, okay, so imagine that the top and the side are the part that is being extruded, so it's the depth. So here we have the length, just like here. So the length here and the length here are the same, but instead of this being the height, this is the depth. So these sides here are the depth. So the top view is associated with height and depth, the front, height and length, and the side here, height and depth. So this depth here is the same as this. This length here is the same as this. This height is the same as this. Okay, so this is important when we pull out our dimensions. So here's our dimensions, and we want a dimension for each view, but we don't want to be redundant. So if we pull out the height dimension, which is 2, and then here, instead of pulling out the dimensions underneath, part of the rules of dimensioning is that we pull our dimensions out in between the views. Okay. So this is in between the front and the top. So I'm going to pull it out here. So we have the height and we have the length. The only dimension that is actually missing is the depth here, which is here. So I'm going to go back to my dimensions. I'm going to grab that depth. I'm going to pull that out. On this side view, we do not need to pull any more dimensions because one of the rules of dimensioning, as I mentioned before, is redundancy. You don't want to pull out any dimensions that are already there and give us the same exact information. So we have the 3 dimensions here. This is a very simple thing. Of course, it would be more complicated when you have different shapes, but we have height, the width, and the depth, and that's all we need. So you would do a screenshot, or you could actually export your drawing onto the desktop and put that in your engineer's notebook. So I'm going to do one more shape. Oops, no, that's a new tab. I'm going to this is what I wanted. All right, so this shape here, I'm just going to move this back so we could see. I'm using the browser version. It's just a little different. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this, move it over a little. Okay, I'm not, okay, just so the screen's a little larger. All right, so now I'm going to create a new sketch for my second shape. Choose the front. I'm going to choose my line tool. Okay, so your line tool could be here, or you can hit L to activate it. So I know that just by looking at the blueprint, I can set this to my 2.5. I know when I go to 90-degree angle, this is going to be a 1.25. Okay, and then I'm going to go down. If this isn't going to give us all of the dimensions, so I see that along the bottom and the first right side, there's a 1 there. I know the whole height is 2.5, so I'm going to deduce that this is 1.5. Okay, we're going to set that. We're going to go across. This is 3 minus 1.25, so it'll be 1.75. Okay. And then we're going to go down and finish this. Okay. So here is our shape. If we wanted this to be more correct, we don't want our dimensions to be inside the shape. That's one of the rules of dimensioning. And we could pull this out more. Good. Okay. I'm going to finish the sketch. We're going to extrude it. It is extruded 1.5. I'm just going to type that in. Okay. Set that. When you go to drawing from design, we're going to call this basic shape 2. Hit save. We're going to hit OK on our drawing sheet as long as it looks the same. Okay, I'm going to set that. I'm again going to change this to a 1-to-1. All right, I'm going to change it to shaded. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to move this up a little. I'm going to go to my sheet settings, um, toggle off the title block. I'm then going to go to projected view. I'm going to grab my top view, isometric, and side. Okay. So what we're seeing here in the top view are these two top faces combined. Okay, we're going to be making drawings of these. This is called a multi-view drawing, as well as an assembly drawing, but I'm just explaining what you're seeing. So you could see all of the front face like this. You can see the two top faces. Here you see the two right side faces, this and this here. Okay, combined. So now we're going to pull our dimensions. We have the overall length. Okay, we have this. We need to get all of the dimensions that are not labeled. Okay. And then this is our width here. Okay. And then all that's missing that I can see is the depth, which is here. Okay. And that would be all you need because the depth is the same for these different sides. So the height would be the same. So the 2.5 here is the same as the 2.5 here. This is the depth, which would be the same as that. So I believe we have all the dimensions, and then you would export this or take a screenshot, put this in your engineer's notebook as the basic shape number two. And you're going to do the same thing for the rest of these shapes here. Remember to not be redundant, to not add any dimensions that are already there, okay, and don't need to be dimensioned. Make sure all of the dimensions are in between the views, okay? No dimensions inside the shape itself. And the overall dimension should go the highest. The second largest dimension should go below it. And all of these segmented dimensions, let me just make this larger, should be below that. So remember the highest dimension is going to be the tallest, and then so on and so forth. So that's how you do this. If you have any questions, of course, just let me know in class. And yeah, put this all in your engineer's notebook for these 5 shapes. All right. Thank you very much.